Hey guys, Suze from Smarting Coaching. I just wanted to touch on something a little bit today that I've discovered, and I wanted to share with you just a little summary of it in case it can help just one person today, which is my motto here at Smarting Coaching. So I want to talk about how on the journey of self-discovery that I've had since my spiritual awakening in 2017, one of the key discoveries I've got to, after layers and layers and layers of things have come off in my life, has been that we quite often live from our wounds, and that can be a real huge problem in our life. So what do I mean by that? Our subconscious drives us, right, for the majority of what we do. We're in subconscious mode, subconscious programming, subconscious things are running our day. But in our conscious mind, we don't know that. So we are just who we think we are. We are just the sum total of everything that we've lived so far. And we find different ways of coping with things in different circumstances. When those circumstances seem to come around a lot, we lock in to how we navigate those said circumstances, whatever they are. And then we become that. Sometimes that's because that's what we have to do to survive. If you're in something that feels unsafe or is quite topsy-turvy, you'll find something to try and level that out. When you find what it is, you'll keep going with that. That becomes who you are. It becomes your personality. It becomes everything that you are. It becomes who you are known as. It becomes you, right? But the thing with that is that sometimes things will repeat and repeat and repeat in different ways in our life. Relationships that are the same, for all intents and purposes, just different, the same person in different bodies. Problems at jobs, same things happening all the time. No matter what job you move to, it's happening again. Friendships, friendship groups, all sorts of things in our lives that repeat and repeat and repeat. Sometimes we don't see the problem because we're looking outside of us and we don't know about our subconscious programming. So once I woke up in 2017, I ended up in the dark pit, the dark night of the soul. And in that place, all you have is you and everything about you. And there is no way you can get away from it. You have to start looking at yourself from a whole different lens of, I call it, I am the problem. Because you can see how you've contributed to problems or what problems are around you that you find in a repeating pattern, say. So what I discovered was I would let my power go all the time in my life, in lots of different places. I would not speak just to keep the peace. I would do what everyone else, the majority, wanted because that kept everyone happy. I would do all that sort of thing. And that's okay. And I became that friend who would always help and that person who you could, whatever. Because I wanted people to choose me and I wanted everyone to like me and I wanted to be likable, right? Now that in itself, I don't know, led to a lot of people pleasing and all that sort of thing. But it became quite obvious to me that there are some people who know that that's what you'll do and they will manipulate and use that to their advantage over and over and over again because you're not saying no, you don't say no. And that's what led me to my awakening. So where did it come from though? That's what the video today is about. Where did it come from? I had an abandonment wound which affected me for a long time from about the age of 7 or 8 when, as I discovered in my healing, when a relationship that had been in my life that was daily, someone that I loved and was close to me and was basically like a brother to me, suddenly disappeared out of my life and my existence because he moved to the other side of the country and I didn't cope well with that. And I found out just a few years ago that he didn't cope very well with it either. We both went into a tailspin because we had been at school together, at home together. We spent lots of free time together. And so we were a constant. And all of a sudden that constant was gone and we were only little and we didn't understand what was happening. But that fear of abandonment then went through my whole life. And so I would learn that if I was the real me, or if I expressed things different to what everyone else did, that didn't bode well for me. Quite often it could lead to a lonely life or whatever. So I just used to just not say anything about stuff, right? And push it down. So what that abandonment wound led to was self-abandonment, was me not choosing myself. And that, while the abandonment wound has been in my life for a long time and I have wanted people to choose me, even recently, like in the last, even since I started to heal, I was still going back to that default of wanting people to choose me and getting upset when they didn't, right? And so now that I've discovered that it's really self-abandonment, which is what that is, allowing other people to, or bowing to other people's things to be chosen instead of standing in my own truth and my own knowing in my own self, knowing that I'm worthy on my own without anyone choosing me, right? That everything now has started to change for me. And it's now a matter of walking through life living from that way instead of the 50 plus years of living from the other way, right? Of needing people to choose me. So now when people don't choose me, it still hurts and it still triggers and it's still, the old default setting is still in there saying, oh, they're upset with you, they're not going to like that, they're not going to choose you. But at the end of the day, I have had a few situations in my life where I've walked alone and I didn't die and I'm still here. So I know that that's okay. Choosing myself in situations instead of self-abandoning helps me to sleep at night better than choosing what's popular or what everybody else wants when it goes against who I am out in the world being right now. I hope that makes sense. I really want to do a longer video, but time seems to be a thing for me right now. So I need to make the time. But I just wanted to share that because, as I said, my motto with Smart in Coaching is if I can help just one person. I'm not for everyone. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, which is great because I don't drink tea. I drink coffee. But I want to encourage other people to step in and be their authentic self. And you can't do that until you sit down and find that authentic self under society's blanket of what it tells you to be, other people's ideas of who you should be, how you've been up until now to survive in trauma, a myriad of things, all the subconscious stuff that's running. Until you sit down and look at that subconscious in the eye and accept it for what it is and say thank you for trying to help me, for trying to keep me safe, but I've got this now, and move forward from that place. Until you do that, you're just going to keep going from your wounds and from your wounds and from your wounds. And so I want to help people to know that it's okay. It's okay to be you. And there may be some lonely times ahead, but that's just the people who don't get you, the real authentic you as you are today, which could change next week and next month. Don't worry, there's big jumps that happen as you go through all the layers of stuff. But I would rather be myself today and stand alone in that and walk forward and have all the people who don't like that fall away and give room for the people who do like that than sit here and pander to everybody else and not be able to sleep at night and feel miserable and sad and belt myself up for abandoning myself yet again. Okay, hope it makes sense. I need to go. I love you. Thank you for spending time with me and I look forward to talking to you again soon.